Good morning, I'm Ovaltie and today's car is a Triumph TR4. Now there is a backstory to this car. This video is just going to be me cleaning the underneath before and after, and I'll walk you around it when it's on the ground. But it's a TR4 Rally replica bought from a deceased estate, and the fella who passed had spent a great amount of effort and no doubt money on putting this thing together to be a reasonably faithful replica in terms of the side vents. There's only four TR4 Rallies built, and they're worth, well, hundreds of thousands of pounds with their provenance and everything now. So this is a fairly faithful powder blue replica. I've been through the car with my friend. We've rebuilt the engine. I put most of it back together. It was stripped, partially stripped anyway. New cam, new liners, and yeah, it's coming to the end of its journey in terms of the recommissioning and back on the road. So I'll stop it there, and I'll show you the after. Actually, should really go underneath here. You can see it's got a white chassis. I think the rally cars had that. Fairly dirty just now. Obviously I'd cleaned up the front where the engine came out. So I'll get the pressure washer out. I've moved all the other cars out. They're all sitting out in the sun this morning. A beautiful morning. I've got a Mercedes, my Alpha, my Skyline and my Forenza, which is half the collection. The rest is downstairs, and that's my Lancet engine out the way, so everything's going to get kind of wet, but I'll try. Okay, it's about an hour and a half later. I used the opportunity to give the shed floor a wash. Always a good chance to get things done when it's soaked a car above it. So it came up fine. It's been used as a car in well, I wouldn't call them rallies, but club events and such like. There's pictures of it over in Tasmania doing stuff. So it's been banged about a bit at the bottom here, etc. But it came up fine, and it's still not been wiped yet, so that'll come off when it gets wiped. But the chassis has been braced extensively. This is not standard. This boxing here and the floor here, and there's some boxing up the front as well. After all, it is a 1960s car made from mild steel and an up and top, so to take it rallying was probably a bit of an extension on its intended purpose. However, this car is going to come up beautiful. You can see the extent of the restoration that was carried out on it, which I didn't carry out, which was a body off, full repaint. There's a lot of panel work in it as well. Yes, so I shall take it down now and we'll have a look at the engine bay. It's a beautiful day here, beautiful day. It's height of winter in Australia, and it'll be nice and sunny till about 4 o'clock, and then it'll get a bit cold, but lovely weather. Good to be alive. Right, I'm going to annoy everybody again with this thing here, so up you go. And down you go. So while it's coming down, the backstory of the car and how it's in my hands is a friend of mine, a colleague. I'm now semi-retired, and he is retired, and we were just, you know, talking about things, and he fancied a car, and he found this and another car together, and as I said, a deceased estate. The other car is away getting restored at a property, sorry, at a place over by Mornington somewhere. And this one was in need of less work, but was still, you know, in bits. It suffered a failure in the engine, the rear liner, the number 4 liner, had basically started slapping, and the cylinder head was either warped or the head gasket had gone. We don't know. We got it stripped. The cylinder head had been fully ported and cleaned up and looked as though it was ready to go back on, but the engine was still in the condition it was. So we pulled the engine. At the time as well, a lot of the paintwork around here had been damaged, so I painted that in there, and then we got the engine rebuilt at a local machine shop, and the camshaft had went in it, so the rear lobes had went all around this number 4 cylinder, which might have been, you know, something to worry about, but we'll wait and see when we run this through. It's been gone over, a new alloy pump housing, Cerakote exhaust, refurbished carburetors, everything else is kind of new. The fella that owned it was a bit of an electrician, so the wiring is non-standard. There's relays everywhere and stuff like that, but it's all very well done. This is my looming effort to cover it up, just make it look tidy. It's debumpered, and all the rally cars were painted this powder blue. I've actually polished this guard wing guard them anyway, and it came up beautifully. Single stage paint. The rest of it's not been touched. I just washed it. So when I finish this, I've got a stainless cowl to go in here. I've got some of the wiring to finish, and then I'm going to give it a good old polish. These are TR7 seats. The fella was 6'8" apparently, so I can still fit it. So his legs must have been a wee bit short for his height, but I fit it. But they're solid mounted. I'm going to have to do some with that. The switch panel's out just now. That's all the bits for it, and I'm just going to finish that up. It's got a Targa top. That's in my paint shed next door, along with my GT6. So this is the third Triumph I'll have. I've got a TR7, TR4 and a GT6. And Triumphs, I suppose, you know, a lot of people will say things about British cars, but Triumphs are one of the great tragedies of the British motor industry for me. They had a range of cars and a group of engineers and employees that made some brilliant cars. Not only beautiful, this was styled by Michelotti, an Italian, working I think for us, well, I don't know, he was working whether it was Gear or wherever, I don't know, but anyway, his designs are beautiful. They really took forward the design from the TR3 and canned it and went to this quite stunning TR4, which led on to obviously the TR5 and latterly the 6, and of course through all the window with the 7, which I like, especially in the V8 coupe format I've got. So that is it. Should be on the road in about a month. I don't think there's anything going to hit me that's too hard to get by. All the expenses gone associated with it. It wasn't that hard in terms of money to restore everything you can get for these through the usual suppliers, Moss and Rimmers. Getting them to Australia can be a bit of an issue, but we managed. So there you go. What am I going to do now? I don't know. I'll have a cup of tea. And just an update, this is now turning over on its key after a bit of work with the wiring. Doing a similar thing with the wiring shrouding here. This is the next off the line for me. I think after I finish this, I'm going to get this running. And I've got a Lancia Monte Carlo. I'm going to post a video of soon, I promise, that's coming back from a fairly extensive body work campaign. It's taken years for various reasons, but it's what it is. and when that comes back, the Skyline's going in for some repairs around the rear quarter. That's running and driving. Far End's running and driving. Alpha's running and driving. That's running and driving. Mercedes. I've got another Alpha. It's running and driving after a fairly extensive service, I would call it. Clutch, radiator, timing belt, everything that I could fix on it I fixed. So yes, I shall try and end this video to here and patch it together and see what I can get posted. Thank you very much. Cheers.